And so this is Christmas. And what have you done? Well, what have we who gamble too much done? I for sure spread too much negative energy around me when I gambled. I blamed myself for my shortcomings to a degree that got very, very destructive and made me distance myself from everyone I loved. That's also why I wanted to kill myself back in 2007. It felt like I would do the world a favor by disappearing. Rightfully so, my gambling-related pain got me locked up in a psychiatric ward for many weeks. That was thanks to my family and my dear friend Anders. A shout out to them, they are unicorn magical. Let's get back to more details in a moment. I truly hope that this is the most important speech I will ever give. My purpose with this talk is to give hope to you that suffer from gambling-related pain this Christmas day in this very moment. Dear to, I want to honor all people who died fighting this disease. With that said, I want to say that I see you. I think it is important to say because gambling is a very hidden addiction in a sense, which makes the suffering so much more intense because we are still awake in our misery. My message to you is clear. We're standing strong in the same ship, sailing the same seas. I do know enough of your story without even talking to you. I hear your voice even if you're not saying anything. I have been where you are, felt the same pain, and I have dedicated 17 plus years of my life to show others how to conquer gambling addiction and make it powerless. I want to give you a boost to turn your ship around, Captain. This Christmas I want to be your guide by the side. If you steer the ship, please let me offer some insights to your map, nautical charts and readings from a compass I've seen work for hundreds of people. With that said, what will the structure of this speech be? First, I will put problem gambling in a context where I will share some aspects of my own story. Secondly, I will tell you 3 main themes on how to conquer Christmas Day. After that, I will give you a framework with value words that can lower your struggle during the entire Christmas holidays. Number 4, then I will give you 3 energy boosters, and lastly, I will give you actions that you can take ASAP to be stronger this Christmas holidays and keep your mind focused on constructive activities. And yeah, I know that this speech will be very long. I want you to know that this has been a long time coming to give a speech like this, and I humbly ask you to see the bigger picture. And please keep in mind that I'm a bit wordy sometimes when I think something is truly important. And I happen to believe that you that suffer from gambling-related pain is a superhero in the making. And you are capable of doing magical things with the right focus. Okay, maestro? Up next, foundation and context. Let's get started to level up our Christmas spirit. Time travel unlocked. When I was a child, obviously no career counselor asked me if I wanted a life filled with destructive gambling and flatlining of my sense of meaning. I dreamt of becoming an astronomer and exploring the universe. I dreamt of becoming a master system architect like my father and build systems to make improvements for humankind. And I dreamt of supporting people like my mother and creating everlasting impact on people's lives. That sounds great, doesn't it? What happened was that I gradually lost control over my life, a process that sneaked up on me. To me it was a little like I banged my head against the wall expecting it to open a magical door to the perfect life. In the beginning it felt harmless, smashing my head bloody. And in the beginning I always found some sort of creative solution to the never-ending floods of chaos. And With time, my behavior started to turn into, yeah, a Homer Simpson sort of situation where I banged my head against the concrete, and that magical door to all my dreams was rarely open. Occasionally, I had banged a hole in the wall with a lot of effort, and at those times, I experienced some sort of like temporary win, I would say. And temporary as in paying all the money back to the gambling companies every single time. And it was only a matter of time until it all was wasted. And then the concrete wall obviously was rebuilt by the gambling companies again, using my money to pay for the repairs. And my life turned into a constant hunt for time in that bubble, sort of. And what I lost being under that pressure was my sense of purpose, my sense of meaning, and in other words, I lost my direction. My entire life felt like a big black hole. It didn't matter how much I gambled and the outcomes, it was never enough. For me, it luckily ended up in a locked psychiatric ward for many weeks. That made my anxiety, depression and ADHD silent enough for me to really think deeply. Until that point, my thoughts had been like a Formula One car driving a life or death race, constant pedal to the metal for years. And when I finally parked the racing car, 3 things happened. First off, I decided to keep on living. Secondly, I asked myself, am I really so alone in this world that I feel? I realized my brain played tricks on me, and I wanted to take back the control of my life. And thirdly, the slow system was the thing that really ignited my spark for my burning desire to support people to fight this problem. Because I got so frustrated and angry that there was no room for a person like me back then that gambled too much. And it really hurt in my very core when I finally had accepted that I needed help. I was told that it would have been easier for me to get support if my problem had been related to alcohol or drugs. So I was lucky to be a problem gambler, was I? That was when a new dream was born deeply in my mind. I started to dream of a world free from gambling-related pain, a world driven by purpose. And with that said, we have set sort of like the foundation to level up. So, maestro, drum roll. First tip, be mindful of your triggers. For you and me, gambling has filled a function, a purpose. It has filled a hole inside of us. It's called problem gambling when it, in a sense, has been a solution for us. A solution to regulate feelings, to manage hard situations in life, and to take us through our everyday life. If you're in gambling-related pain now, you stand at a crossroad. Have you felt enough pain this year to take the path to a life free from gambling? Do you think that you deserve to break free from the chains of gambling? Do you really want to leave your gambling behind and start to go down a new path? If you want, we can make a pact to let freedom from gambling be our new solution to everything that comes our way. That pact can impact the rest of your life. Here you have my hand if you want to shake on it. Because I believe in your capacity to make gambling a closed chapter in your life story. The question to be answered is, what do you want to fill your life story with going forward? With that said, Christmas is a great time of the year to start new. The Christmas season can be magical, filled with love, joy and connection. For us that want to stay away from gambling, it can also be a minefield of triggers with gambling companies ramping up their promotions. The stress of the holidays can weigh heavily, and stay away from gambling becomes both a challenge and a triumph. Are you ready, Captain, to manage your ship like a true legend of the big seas? I've looked on your nautical charts and maps, and the data from my compass is at your disposal. And this is the first aspect. Define gambling for yourself. Before you can quit gambling, you need to define what gambling actually means to you. Is it just casino slots and sports betting? Or do lottery tickets, scratch-offs and free spins count too? If you're tempted to rationalize small gambles, remind yourself that participating in any form of gambling, paid or free, can be a very slippery slope. Even if you could gamble again in a controlled way, is it worth the toll that the behavior brings to your loved ones? Second aspect, beware of specific holiday triggers. Gambling companies know our weaknesses. They use Christmas cheer, stress and feelings of loneliness to lure us in with free bonuses or exclusive offers. Please recognize these tactics for what they are and attempt to exploit our emotions. Whether it's free spin, free rolls or bonus credits, nothing is ever truly free. If we look back, have these offers led to anything else than deeper losses? Third aspect, keep in mind that some Christmas traditions and even gifts can be associated with risks. It's important to plan ahead for social situations, and family traditions that involve gambling-like activities can be risky. Be clear about your boundaries and if necessary, sit these activities out. One typical example would be how you are going to manage scratch-offs and lottery tickets. If someone gifts these to you, consider re-gifting them or giving them to a trusted partner to handle. But if the winnings tie back to you, that's still gambling. So ask yourself, do I want my gambling-free life to be risked by dirty money? Fourth aspect, anchor yourself in purpose. Gambling addiction preys on stress, loneliness, and the search for a quick fix. Combat these feelings with actions that bring real fulfillment. Reach out to family or friends who support you staying away from gambling. Dare to remember the dark truth about the gambling companies. VIP programs, holiday bonuses, and personalized greetings may seem like they care, but they're just manipulation. These companies profit from your pain, not your joy. They act as parasites feeding off your well-being. I mean, if gambling companies really cared about problem gamblers, why haven't they done more than the bare minimum to support you, me, and others the last decades? And if you feel alone, remember this. You're on a noble mission to reclaim your life, a battle you can conquer. So start by nurturing self-love. I mean, your days free from gambling are victorious, or victories to be proud of, even if you're stumbled along your journey. This year, give yourself the gift of freedom. Define your boundaries, honor your progress, and remember, gambling doesn't have the power to brighten your Christmas. Only you do. Second of all, when you meet people during the holidays, engage in what works. The holidays are a time for connection, and that connection can be a powerful tool in your gambling-free life. When you engage with others, focus on what's working in your life. Share your progress, however small it may seem, and spread positive energy. Positivity can be a choice. It's about being the good guy for yourself and those around you. And remember that your presence, it matters. Even if you don't realize it, you are meaningful to someone. During gambling struggles, it's easy to feel isolated as if your presence doesn't matter, but it truly does. Simply showing up and being present can be a fresh start for you. And plan to stay cool and calm. Holidays can be stressful, especially when traditions, expectations, or financial struggles come into play. So remember, stay aware of your feelings and reactions. If you're feeling tired or frustrated, take a moment to cool off. It's not mandatory to be where the action happens every single minute during the holidays, and be accountable for what you can control. I mean, your thoughts, feelings, and actions are yours to manage. What others do and say are up to them to own the responsibility for. And set boundaries. I mean, if you can't meet others' expectation this year, communicate honestly, or if that feels too difficult, let them know you're taking time for yourself. And find freedom in connection. Connection with others, pets included, is a solution to feelings of loneliness. Whether it's talking to loved ones, watching a favorite TV special together, or simply being in the same place. These moments of connection can help you defend yourself from gambling triggers. And remember, if you're unable to meet expectation, that's okay. Acknowledge your limitations, give yourself grace, and remember, your value isn't tied to perfection, the opinion of others, or how much you spend on gifts. Tip 3. Reframe what Christmas Day is all about. Christmas often feels like a race to perfection, a whirlwind of gifts, elaborate meals, and picture-perfect moments. But for those of us facing financial challenges or the consequence from problem gambling, the holidays offer a chance to focus on what truly matters. So shift your perspective. A tight budget can be frustrating. I know all about it, but it's also can take away distractions, forcing us to ask the big question: what really matters during the holidays? Is it about expensive gifts or magical unicorn level of achievements? Probably not. It's about love, connection, and making meaningful memories. Well, since I love to address things that's unicorn, magical, in terms of that, one unicorn or two would be excellent. But other than that, I mean, seriously, how much do we really need in materialistic terms? So just simplify and celebrate. And celebrate creativity. If money is tight, embrace simplicity. Write a heartfelt letter. Take a pen and paper and express love that can, be deeper than a storyboard gift. And perhaps record a message. Take your phone and create a personal video or audio grating, or make something small but meaningful. Write a card, a poem, or make a playlist with songs you love that remind you of someone. I mean, such actions can go deeper than an expensive gift, and treat yourself with care. Even if you're on a small budget, you can be kind to yourself and celebrate the holidays on your own. This year can obviously be, a challenge. So if you're doing that, buy some sort of small treat. I mean, if your diet is oatmeal 24/7, buy some sort of jam or buy a small chocolate piece. Something is better than nothing, and reflect on what would make the day special for you. It doesn't have to match anyone else's idea of Christmas. So, and if you don't celebrate Christmas, you can do a version 1.1 this year and think about how do you want to feel during the Christmas holidays? What do you want to do? Is it watch a favorite movie? Then do that. Or cook a simple meal? Do that. Perhaps take a walk. I don't know. Make something that you want, truly want. And when it comes to what truly matters, I mean, spend focusing on those priorities, not what society think that you should do. And celebrate with meaning. I mean, Christmas is not about how much you spend, it's about the moments and connections you create. Even if you're rebuilding after financial struggles, this holiday can be an opportunity to redefine joy and make it uniquely yours. And with that said, Maestro, up next, the foundation to how to conquer the entire Christmas holidays is coming. So, now you will get 7 value words that have helped me to reframe my thinking during the last 17 years. To prevent you from being overwhelmed, I will mention them now, and we will repeat them more deeply at the end of this speech with suggested actions. And I pinky promise that I've done everything in my power to package them in a format that requires as little effort as possible. First off, freedom. Breaking free from gambling means reclaiming your time, energy, and peace of mind, especially during the holidays. Freedom allows you to focus on the present moment. Freedom allows you to focus on creating memories that truly matter. You can start to break free during this Christmas holidays. It all starts with one question. What is true freedom for you? Second word is hope. Christmas is a season of renewal and possibilities, offering a chance to embrace hope for a brighter future. Holding on to hope can inspire you to stay committed to leveling up your life. Believing that change is possible gives you the strength to face each day with optimism and resilience. The question is, when do you feel hope and what drives hope for you? Confidence. Each level up you make to improve your life builds confidence. Confidence grows when you recognize your strength and celebrate your progress. Keep your head high this season and let your inner fire burn brighter than ever before. So, how would your life change with the confidence to say no to gambling and yes to life? Number 4, know-how. Knowledge is power, and understanding your triggers is your greatest tool for staying strong during the holiday season. Being prepared helps you to navigate potential challenges like financial pressure or emotional triggers. And with the right strategies, you can confidently face the season and make progress for the future. The question is, what are your best strategies to learn new things? Number 5, movement. To build a life without gambling is all about momentum. To act on know-how and knowledge, that is key. Wisdom becomes gold when you combine it with action and movement forward. So, in what situations and behaviors fill you up with energy and load your batteries? Number 6, purpose. The holidays is a time to focus on what truly matters. Finding your purpose helps you to turn problem gambling into freedom solutions. When you align your actions with your deeper values, the season becomes a chance to reconnect with your goals and those who support you. If you look backwards in your life, in what types of situations have you felt a strong sense of meaning? Number 7, happiness. Real happiness isn't found in chasing highs or taking risks. Happiness is found in the small, meaningful moments that warm your heart. Sharing a laugh, enjoying a home-cooked meal, or simply being present with loved ones, that are gifts that last far beyond the holidays. Embracing those joys helps you to see the real beauty of life without gambling. So remind yourself of a moment when you laughed until you cried, When was that, and what caused that warm feeling of joy for you? To really marinate you in the full extent of the power hidden within these 7 value words, we will come back to them later on. And by embracing these 7 values, you can turn the holidays into a season of healing, joy, and transformation. And let this year's holidays remind you of your strength and the incredible future that are at your fingertips. So, before we go to how you can take action on these guiding values this Christmas holidays, I would like to boast you a bit. So, drum roll again, maestro. Up next, 3 quotes. 3 energy boosters. First off is a Christmas greeting from Rocky Balboa or Sylvester Stallone that writes like this. Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life, but it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, then you go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you wanna be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that. End quote. Thank you, Rocky, for those encouraging words this Christmas holiday. A question in line with those words. If we put money to the side for a moment, what is winning really about? To me, winning is this: to create a life in freedom based on my values and my terms. To surround myself with people, consume content, and put myself in situations that gives me hope. To choose happiness and do things that make me and other people smile. To build the confidence to be brave and do what I want in my life, not what others tell me to do. To improve my know-how and be humble about what wisdom I have and what wisdom I do not have. To have movement in life and act on my knowledge to level up continuously. To build a strong sense of purpose and meaning which contributes to yourself and the other living things. What is winning to you? The second greeting this year comes from Winston Churchill. His is far less wordy though. If you're going through hell, keep going. End quote. When you have faced true darkness, then you also are blessed with the ability to see all shades of light. Much in life is played out in the shades of grey. Do you agree? Few things in life are black and white. When it comes to gambling, I'm the first person to stand in the line to agree that the darkness takes over one wager at a time. In a way, it's easy for me to stand here today and talk about light. So please keep in mind that it has taken me 17 years to find the focus to write this Christmas speech. I want you to know that I respect your feelings and thoughts about loneliness, anxiety and stress. Dereto, I have the uttermost respect for feeling lost, depressed and feelings of being betrayed by this world. Given all that, I humbly ask you to bear with me, because I will challenge you here and now. Ready? What if today was the day that you start to break free from gambling and reclaim your story? The day when darkness no longer defines you. The moment when you decide that you are ready to challenge the black and grey and discover your light. Using your own words, what would be a good first goal for you to achieve your first level up? Could you please be so kind to take a note of that small and important change that you could make in your life? What is at your fingertips waiting to take you on a journey to a more positive life without gambling? The last quote is from an unknown contributor. There are many paths to the top of the mountain, but the view is always the same. I first encountered this quote when I was in the treatment center Game Over here in Sweden for my problem gambling. That quote has really helped me to understand that even if my path to a gambling-free life has meant many, like gazillions of lapses, relapses, and periods of time where I started to gamble again, I've still reached the end goal of being free from gambling. Could it have gone faster? 1,000,000% yes. What I've learned is how important it is to be kind to yourself. I mean, we are very good at beating ourselves up and criticizing ourselves. That is why I, for many, many years, have talked about knowledge lapses. When facing the darkness again, it's equally critical to break free as soon as possible and to make sure that the experience teaches you something. To make you level up and become stronger as time moves on. Obviously, it's never good to lapse, relapse, or to start to gamble again. As you may notice, I use the word nolapse. What I mean by that is to have the know-how to say no to lapsing. To have the know-how to know how to get back on track if you do lapse, and to be kind to yourself. You don't reset your knowledge if you lapse. I want to make it very clear though that it's never good to decide to lapse, because it all comes down to making decisions. To be or not to be free from gambling, that is the real question. And again, maestro, drum roll. Call to action this year's Christmas holiday up next. Call to action. Hashtag from problem gambling to freedom solutions. From problems to solutions. First off, you that still are watching, I'm happy that you're investing in yourself. There is no doubt in my mind that you can and will level up starting today. If no one has told you lately that they believe in you, let's make one thing very, very clear now. I trust that you can manage this without any doubt in my mind. So Good for you. I also want to thank you for investing in yourself. I mean, that's the best Christmas gift that could ever wish for. So once again, good for you. Really nice that you're making things happen for you. So the moment of truth is here. Here comes the call to action and the things that you can do during this Christmas holiday. So please start with one of the things that makes the most sense to you, and I would recommend that you do one thing each day, the upcoming days, and keep these things in mind. First off, freedom. True freedom is found in choosing what uplifts your soul. So, are you ready to let this holiday be a time where you can embrace choices that bring you further towards making your dreams come true? To let the desire for freedom overtake your very existence. And the question is, what could make you build a life with more freedom? This Christmas, please embrace the freedom that comes from letting go of things that no longer serves you. So I challenge you to say no to one thing that feels overwhelming or unnecessary and use that time for self-care instead. Second thing here, hope. Christmas lights shine brightest in the darkest moments, so hold on to hope as you start your journey toward a life where pain has no room, where you give yourself all space that is needed for a life filled with meaning. One of my biggest sources of hope is the book Think and Grow Rich, written by Napoleon Hill. I found that book standing in a bookshelf when I was under treatment for my gambling problem back in 2007, after the hospital visit. That book looked pitiful with odd cut pages, like if someone gone over it with a pair of scissors. Since it looked that way, it popped out and I read it. That book has been a source of great inspiration ever since. I do the annual inventory from that book every year and I reread it every once in a while. It truly is the most powerful book that I have ever read. And one of the biggest takeaways for me is how important it is to visualize your dream life. I also tend to watch America's Got Talent when I need to boost myself with hope. I know it's a bit of an old reference, but I will revisit Cody Lee's audition from time to time. That gives me energy. Or why not the audition of Nightbird? Or Richard Goodall's audition. Bless their souls. To quote Mr. Richard, until you actually do something, you don't know if it's right for you or not. So, I mean, he's very right about that. You got to try things to actually know what happens. So with that said, I challenge you to do something small that you know for a fact gives you a feeling of hope. Number 3, confidence. You build more confidence every time you say no to gambling and yes to life. The greatest gift you can give yourself is starting to say to yourself in your inner dialogue that you believe that you are enough. Confidence is the quiet strength that grows with each small victory. And we know everything about being quiet, right? So to me, Christmas is a time of renewal, and do something small that you're sure that you can make happen. Try something new this holiday season, no matter how big or small. Recognize the bravery that it takes to step outside of your comfort zone. And back in the days, for me, a great example of such a challenge, when I was the most depressed and had the highest level of anxiety, it would be like pull away the curtains and blinders each day to let the sun shine in. I mean, literally saying yes to the light. What could be a small challenge for you that you can accomplish during the Christmas holidays this year? Number 4, know-how. You can build a know-how to stay gambling free. Know-how and knowledge are the compass to your inner map that can guide you to a brighter future. Use this season to learn and grow. During the upcoming days, what can you read or watch to learn something, to level up and push towards that freedom mentioned earlier? I challenge you to spend 10 minutes reading, listening or watching to something that is a potent candidate to expand your mind. Number 5. You can have momentum and movement forward. Like the turning of the seasons, even the smallest movements can bring growth. Movement is the heartbeat of change. So let this Christmas be filled with as much positive energy that you can gather. No matter if your challenge is to get out of bed or host a family gathering, level up this holiday based on your baseline, your situation, and allow yourself to feel good about your outcome. I challenge you to set a simple holiday goal, like organizing something small and enjoy the satisfaction of completing it, or perhaps take a 15-minute walk outdoors to clear your mind and reconnect with this season's beauty. If possible, do it with music in your ears that gives you associations that are positive and warm memories or warm feelings. And please note that I don't belittle the goal by saying it's simple. What I do mean is setting the bar so you can manage the goal you set and feel good about it. Purpose is number 6. With time you will find meaning and, in other words, your life's purpose. The beauty of Christmas lies in its reminder that every life holds a unique purpose waiting to be unfolded. Purpose gives meaning to the season, so let your actions reflect the values that matter the most to you. So I challenge you to spend 15 minutes reflecting on what truly brings fulfillment for you and write it down. Put all distractions aside and set a timer to safeguard the investment in yourself. So write down what pops up and that you think would be awesome to do. And it can be a short plan for the upcoming day, upcoming week, month, year, 5 years, 10 years. Doesn't matter how big or small the things you write down are. Put those goals on the wall, in your wallet, save it on a file on your computer, and put a reminder in your calendar to check it weekly or monthly to keep what you want to do on the top of your mind. And as I often say, the meaningful solutions are out there. Let the quests be powerful adventures. And number 7, happiness. Lastly, you can find and build happiness and you deserve it too. I start off with a question that I want to stick in your mind like glue. If you would invest all the energy, all the effort and all the resources that are humanly possible into focusing on being gambling free, what can stop you? Well, obviously nothing can stop you, right? If you say to yourself that you deserve happiness in your life again and leave gambling behind, I believe in you and your capacity to say no to gambling and yes to life. I've seen people transform fast when they have decided that enough is enough. So why wait a single second more? Search now for something that makes you laugh. To me, it's the easy stuff that makes me smile. Like wearing something stupid like this and making others feel good about me looking like a ginger reindeer. One of my strongest beliefs is that energy spreads. Therefore, I really hope that you have received some good vibes from me. Not only based on me wearing these cute antlers. You deserve positive energy, and I want you to take care of yourself, to be kind to yourself, for you to level up and replace your pain with purpose and meaning. Starting today, you can be the good person that you always dreamt of being. Why fight against it 1 second more? Let this year's Christmas holidays be unicorn magical, and please let your Christmas present to yourself be that you say no to lapsing. And it's a time for one more drum roll. If you listened to this point, please comment with #Knowlapse and with one insight that you made listening to this Christmas speech. I also recommend you to save this clip to revisit it later on. I'm Gus, aka SunGus, your dedicated purpose guardian. I call myself a purpose guardian because I want to safeguard that people like you choose a brighter path than I initially did in my life. I dream of a world free from gambling-related pain, a world driven by purpose. So please believe me when I say that I want your path to be bright. And keep in mind that I see you, I hear you, and I feel you. Like we say in Sweden, jag önskar dig en riktigt god jul, which in English translates to I wish you a Merry Christmas. Remember to say no to lapsing and yes to purpose. No lapse, no lapse.